And we're back with Cyrus Webb Presents, or Conversations LA as we're calling it. I'm excited to be back here in Los Angeles for someone who's been with us for the very first time after Roy Williams Jr. is here. I want to talk to him not only about his journey as an actor, but what it's been like for him to do what he loves, to share that experience with all of you, and of course, what may be coming up next for him. Roy, thank you so much for the time, man.
Thanks for having me, man.
Well, look, I'm glad this worked out for us.
Yeah. I know we tried to do this before, and I think it was a schedule conflict.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what? You're busy. And that's one of the things I want to talk to you about. I mean, you are doing exactly what so many people who come to Los Angeles to do, that they dream of doing. That is, you are working as an actor.
Yeah.
How does that feel for you to have been able to have a goal and then to be able to see that become a reality?
It feels great, and to share that experience with my family, my friends, and whoever it is, it's truly an honor. I heard a quote recently, and let me see if I can get this right. It pretty much said, my dreams are bigger than life, and I kind of hold on to something like that because when first becoming an actor, I couldn't imagine. It's like, am I gonna really do this? Am I gonna be a working actor? Is this really gonna happen? Because being an actor, when people think of it, it's almost like a bigger than life thing. You kind of put it on this pedestal. It's like, oh my gosh, you see this person on TV, and this is huge. But in order for it to become a reality, it takes a lot of hard work. So to constantly grind and support from friends and family, and just to kind of showcase my talent and show them what I can do is, it's truly an honor.
Yeah. You mentioned, really the process. And I think, to be able to get to that finished product, is a journey in itself, right? Because even in this conversation I've had with people in the strip, right? They talk about, the hurry up and wait of the industry. They talk about how you may work on something and it may be a year or two before someone even sees what you've been able to do. But you have the satisfaction of once it airs, once we're able to see it, once we're able to talk about it. How does that feel to see what all of that led to?
It's amazing because I couldn't really picture myself in this situation to begin with, and just to see all that hard work kind of pay off at the end. Just production in general, it takes there's a lot of things that can happen for a product, not to even come out.
Sure.
I did a film 2 years ago, still haven't seen it, so a lot of things can happen. So when you actually do see the finished product on TV and you can share that with your friends and your family, it's an amazing experience. I remember I did some episodes of Being Mary Jane, and my daughter, who was 2.5 at the time, she saw me on TV. And that was just so gratifying, and she could recognize her daddy. She's like, "Oh, daddy." He was like, "Daddy, daddy" at the time. And now it's just, I think about it now. It gives me the chills. I'm literally getting the chills right now just thinking about that. And so that is the reward, for me. And that's why I kind of keep going. Of course, I love the craft. I love, I'm always working. But that is really gratifying. I love seeing that.
We're going to come back to that. I'm glad you brought up about your daughter. But the other thing about you that I respect a lot, Roy, is that you surround yourself with people who are pushers too. Who, Chris Green, and have to give him a shout out because he's an individual who definitely is passionate about what he does. You guys have been able to collab with some things, some funny things with an actor. What is it like to have people in your corner who not only support you, but also understand what it takes to do what you do?
I think it's important as an actor to have that community around you, just to stay in that creative space. And Chris is, he's like my right-hand man. He's we've created, Life of an Actor, or actually created Life of an Actor, but we have the show Typecasting, which is a funny web series that we created while he was actually in town shooting something else. But to have people like Chris Green, and I have a whole bunch of friends who are in the acting business here in LA as well, who who I work with. I have another project, The Green Alligator. I work with some close friends of mine who are actors and producers, directors. But I like to stay in that creative space because that just keeps me going. Because you're not always working on a show at times. There's going to be some down periods, and I like to create. I think all actors like to create. I think at the end of the day, being in front of the camera is one thing. there's always, you know, what can I do behind the camera? Right. You know, so yeah, I like to dab in all of that too.
You just met, before our segment began, you just met Chloe Tracos. I mean, you said that. I thought about what she has done as an actor, also as a writer. She was saying she didn't see females playing the roles she wanted to see, so she created it.
Yeah.
Is that kind of what has fueled you?
Yes. There's a lot of roles that I like to experiment in. There's, for example, I have a project coming out soon, hopefully, and I can talk about it because it's mine. I created it. It's like no contract or anything, but it's like a boom operator. So you're going to see myself. It's in a short film format, and playing an African American boom operator. Something that you wouldn't normally see that on like a screen. It's like a mockumentary type short film, but there's a lot of that, and I like to put a lot of people of color around me as well. So I got a real close friend of mine, Ahmed Brooks, who's also an actor. He does a lot of theater work. We're working on something now, and just to get a lot of the brothers just working and creating, because I think right now we're in a really good time. In TV and film, yeah.
I agree. We're going to talk more about that too. I want to say for those who are just tuning in on the television side, but also those joining us online, we're watching Cyrus Webb Presents. I'm back in Los Angeles, and today I'm sitting down with actor Roy Williams Jr. As you can tell from this conversation, he's not just an actor. He's someone who's been able to create, not only, of course, bringing things to life in front of the camera, but also making things happen behind the camera as well. You mentioned something else that I think is important for our audience to get, and I think this is a great thing that's a crossover, Roy, regardless of what profession someone might be in. And that is, of course, being able to do things that aren't expected. I think sometimes when you're a tall kid, you're told you're going to play basketball.
Exactly.
People have these certain ideals of people. Do you hope that by doing what you're doing, you're showing other people you can pretty much do what you want to? You can take advantage of the mediums out there and create what you want to create.
I think it's important to do that in this industry right now, where we have social media and just all of these different platforms where artists can just showcase themselves, And as an actor, you can showcase your range, whereas, I might get typecast a certain way in Hollywood, which typically happens to actors. But you can just create your own projects and say, I can actually do this too. This is what I can do, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just trying to show a good range of everything. I don't always have to play like the athlete type, or typically that's what I get. I'll get like the athlete, good looking, or whatever along the lines. But in this new film, I'm playing a boom operator. So and I think that is something I wanted to tackle. Hey, I just want to showcase what I can do as an actor.
Sure. You mentioned being Mary Jane. A lot of people remember you from that, but also the idea of you mentioned your daughter. I think for anyone who's looking for inspiration, I can imagine that's one of the biggest sources of inspiration. Knowing your daughter is watching. What is it like for you to know that people are watching you, Roy, that they are paying attention, and more importantly, that they're rooting for you?
It's a huge inspiration. That's kind of like the motor that keeps me going, because in this business it can get frustrating at times, and you can get down on yourself. But when I have my daughter seeing me on TV and she sees me do my taped auditions, and she's kind of like, without me even pushing her in the acting direction, this is kind of like what she wants to do. It kind of seems like at this early age, she's already done a commercial, a Capri Sun commercial, and that just, without me even really pushing her to do something like that, she's just kind of fell into what Daddy does, and that's really gratifying. It makes me feel really good, and of course I have the support of my wife, who, I don't know where I'd be without her, so that always helps to have people in my corner and who are constantly pushing me and rooting for me, that, you can't beat that anymore.
Yeah, that's it. So let's talk about, you mentioned the one project, the what's next, Roy. I think a lot of times people they get so stuck in what's not happening.
Yeah.
How empowering is it for you to realize that what you can create and how that can create that what's next?
It's my own project, so it's so empowering because I can literally, it's me, you know, so I can literally say, hey, you know what, this is not going to go this way, and, you know, we're going to have to push it back, and I have complete control of that. Whereas an actor, and you get picked up on a series or something, it's not, you don't have that much control, so I think it's important for actors just to try a little bit of everything. Again, there's those down periods where you're just not working, but all of the actors that I've come across, they're creators. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, they're creators, and they'll create their own thing. And I picked up a lot of that from a Chris Green. I got a really good friend, Cameron Bigelow, who's also a really good creator who I love to work with all the time. At Brooks. And I know I'm just kind of name dropping, but these are all people who are really close to me, and they kind of keep me going, and they keep me in that creative space. And of course I have some people that I look up to in the area. I have a really, really cool guy who I kind of stalk him every once in a while. Neil Brown Jr. I'm not sure if you, but he's a series regular on Silton. I've kind of followed his career for a while, and we have the same acting coach, so we kind of have that mutual thing. But he's doing really well. But all inspirations, all keep me going, keep me in that creative mind and that creative space that all actors should be in.
For sure. It's a great reminder for all of us. Again, everyone, Roy Williams Jr. has been our guest. Great conversation with you, Roy. We've been talking with him about the journey to where he is, what helps him to stay motivated, and of course, what's to come, especially because he realizes the power of creating his own content, being able to control his own fate. So, Roy, let our viewers know, how can they stay connected with you, man?
You can catch me on Instagram at Actor Roy Williams Jr. I'm also on Twitter at Roy Williams Jr. And I'm also on Facebook at Roy Williams Jr. Yeah, Actor Roy Williams Jr. There's so many platforms.
So he's made it easy for you guys. Make sure you all follow him. And for those joining us online, we will have the links below to make it easy so you guys can just click on them and go there. Roy, again, congratulations, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And we thank you, our viewers, for tuning into this segment of Cyrus Webb Presents.